Recording. All right, welcome to the very first episode of Friday Night Fights. We might change that name here. Cheers. We got Riles. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Outstanding. And our first guests ever on the Friday podcast of Raiders Baseball is none other than Rob Noll and Stephen Hurlburt. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us tonight. Cheers to both of you. And one day, hopefully, we can be in person. How you doing there, Noll?
Doing well. How are you guys doing?
Excellent. And Stephen, how we doing?
We're hanging in there.
All right. These guys are joining us very late on the East Coast, well past all of our bedtimes.
Surprised they let hubby get on the computer at the home. You okay, buddy?
I'm fine. I'm on my phone.
He's sitting on the toilet because that's a shower curtain behind him, dude.
No, that's his war room.
I think he's sitting on the toilet.
No, you have the home office camper. He's got the toilet. That's his war room, and we're ready to go to war.
So we're gonna have some fun.
We're having fun. So let's go to the format. We brought these two guys on. These are our two absolute classic Raiders, and they've done a ton of coaching in their careers at lots of different levels. And we wanted to have them on. They were actually the head coaches of the '80s squad when we did Decade Wars, and we had a classic battle with the '90s team. '90s team snuck it out late. But we don't. That's not why we're on tonight. We wanted them to draft a team of their peers from the entire decade of the '80s, and I think that should include anybody who played in the '80s. So, like for example, Brad Tweedley, he played 3 years in the '80s, right? He's class of '90, but I think he should be in this draft. What do you guys think about that?
Shit, you're switching it up on me. Riley already said it was you had to graduate in the '80s.
Okay, I'm sorely mistaken. Toss Tweedley out.
Dude, because here's the
thing. He's not my spicier.
Dude, here's the thing. When you and I do our draft, we can select tweeds.
Yeah, that's true for the '90s. Yes.
So the '80s guys, we're gonna do our '90s draft with Tweedley.
Can it be me versus you?
We can do that, yeah.
Or it could be me and you versus Goucher and whoever he picks.
Sure. We're gonna have some fun with this.
Yeah. Maybe we could do a 2-on-2 for that episode. I like that. All right, so Tweedley's out of that.
I thought Tweedley was over.
Are you sitting on your microphone?
Hey, Mark.
Yes, Nolly. Jesus, we got Noll in an undisclosed location. His fucking connection is just
hiding with his fluid on her.
He's in his bunker.
He's in his bunker, boy. Jesus, Nolly. Nolly, what do you want? He might have lost his connection. I don't know. All right, he's texting. There. Oh, I heard.
I think in the '80s, Tweedley was overrated.
Oh.
He only arrived in 1990s. Is that what we're claiming? Listen.
Tweedley overrated.
I think he would be the first to tell you that too, though. To be honest.
But go ahead.
Noll said that because if Tweedley gets included in our draft, that pushes him down to 7.
He'd get bumped, wouldn't he? He'd be
to drive.
Relief. Hey, middle relief is at a premium these days. All right. Well, anyway, we're gonna get started, and the draft is gonna be one guy at every position, and we're looking at a pitching staff of 3 pitchers on the staff. Okay, and they have to be 80 to 89 graduates. These guys know. I think we all know the names. So we're gonna go to Hubs with the number 1 pick. He landed the number 1 pick because of his age. He's a little bit older, so he gets the honors. So
I liked Dube until right now.
Slightly older. Jeez.
All right, well, I'm going to say this too because Robbie's already said it. Apologies to anybody before 86, 85 because we just don't have that knowledge.
Fair enough.
My first pick is Spans.
Okay.
Dick, dude.
Well selected.
I thought you were going Don Beck for sure, hubby.
Hey, it wouldn't have been a bad pick either. All right. Well, along the way, I might want to ask for a few words about players, but for now we're going to kick it right to Noll. All right.
Tell everybody why you picked fucking Spans, dude.
That's a good question. That's fair enough.
I picked Spanzer because by far the best pitcher I ever played with. He wasn't just a thrower. He's a pitcher. He was knowledgeable.
Hubby, do you have a game that you remember you all played where he just dominated somebody or he did something crazy? Like, what's your best Span story at Enfield High, at least?
Well, it's my best. It's baseball related, but it also involves freaking Noll. So when we used to play catch, Noll used to like to, when Brummage was walking by him, move his glove so I would almost hit Brum. So after the 5th or 6th time that he does this, we're at Enfield High. I don't remember who we're playing. And all of a sudden, Spans is standing in the first base coach's box. The throw gets made to me. Brummage loudly announces for everybody at the field to hear that I am to underhand the ball to Jeff and say, Mr. Spanswick, please make my throw for me. I'm not very good. As I underhand the ball to Spans, he goes, shit, hubby, don't hurt him.
Should have been fired.
Oh, you said.
But no, I don't have one specific game that I can remember. I just remember that we were like East Hartford. We were in those games because of him.
Yep, and they were dominant.
Hubby legit is the person on Jeopardy when Alex asked him the story. He's like, well, let me tell you. It's like, it's the worst story ever. It's like literally the worst story ever, dude. One time, Alex, I had a Lego set.
Look, I'm still bitter over the fact it's all because of you.
Apparently, I never even heard this story.
Oh.
All right, I got to pick 2?
You get a pick now. Your first round pick here.
Oh. Who was that shortstop in 81, dude?
I know, right? The early 80s are sorely missed. We need to bring maybe a third party on from that era. We need Mike Mayer.
Well, I guess I got to take Dombeck. It's not out of any sort of affiliation for him, but he is the best player I ever played with.
Yep. And now he's a shortstop pitcher. Is that what you'd call him?
I would, yeah. No, I would use him as shortstop. Yes.
Shortstop. Okay, so you're still gonna pick 3 pitchers.
Yes. Okay, you can put the gun on my head, Jim. Take the gun down. I voted for you.
Now, Noll, let's ask you to tell a Dombeck story. I think we know the one where you go to Holland. He K's a ton of guys. He hits homers. I think he hit 3 homers or whatever he did.
I get to, can I tell it?
Yeah.
So, all right. So we go to Holland, and we didn't know that we'd be playing like adults. So I pitched the first game in Holland. We had just come out of like a Legion battle. We're battling for 3rd place in Legion, and we get I pitch the first game. Guys all have mustaches and beards. Are all like 25. But then Dombeck pitches like the next game, and he strikes out 20 dudes and hits a home run, and then proceeded to hit a home run summer long. And he struck out 100 dudes. It was mind-boggling how good he was that summer. He wasn't stressed out because of homework, so he would dominate it.
Careful, you're gonna piss him off, man. He does not like those jabs, brother. I'm telling you.
Dude, he was the most dominant baseball player for a period of time that I have ever played with.
Wow, outstanding. That's great stuff.
Right, Brian?
I heard the stories too, man. He's a great player.
Yep, no doubt.
All right.
Listen,
Hubby.
Go ahead, Noll.
No, he gave it to hubby.
Okay, yeah, back to Hubs. We're going to go back.
Oh, I go back to back?
Yeah, I thought we were going to go snake. I thought you were going to
No.
go.
If I can go back to back?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right.
Noll gets the next pick.
Yeah,
Okay.
it goes to hubby.
I'm going to shear up the middle of the field. That's how I've always coached. The middle. I'm going with Ralph Serrato.
Okay. Yep. And that's your second baseman there.
Ralph Serrano, second base. And
Deal.
and my story about Ralph is we all went to see him in South Carolina a couple years ago when URI played Carolina.
Yep.
And the funny part about that story is it was dry. You couldn't drink there. So we left in the 5th inning, and URI came back and beat South Carolina after down 5-0. But me, Dombic, and Spans left so we could go get beer.
Damn right. That's awesome. That's great. You guys all went down there, and he's killing it, man. I mean, it's awesome.
I
All right,
never responds to our emails or anything, but he's killing it down at URI. Great fucking
Listen,
job about it.
I'll tell you, he responded once or twice when we had a kid that was pretty good that he was interested in. So
Right.
at least he's paying attention to old number one, which is bringing in the big recruits. But anyway, all right, Hubby, your second pick, man. Does Hubby get 2 in a row now?
Yeah, he gets 2 in a row.
All right, 2 in a row.
All right, well, I'm going to take my right fielder, Dennis Pelletier.
Yes. Okay. And then give me your next pick, and then I want a Dennis story out of you. I know you're a good pal too.
I'm going to take a shortstop, Matt Mergadishin.
All right.
Did he play short? But that's fine.
He did play short.
So obviously Hubby doesn't know how to hold on. Obviously Hubby doesn't know how to do a draft because I already picked a shortstop. With Dombeck, you could have waited 15 rounds to pick Merck.
That could be his 3-hole. The hell, you can't leave that bat out there, no?
Hub,
I did.
And again, we're out.
I did realize. I did forget that you wouldn't have remembered Merg anyway, even if you hadn't gone Dombeck.
Hey, Hub, I gotta ask because he always comes up in conversation. But like, why didn't you pick Pete? Like Pete Gigolo, or did you not play with him?
I did my senior year.
Okay.
Merg was better. I mean, that's
like, defensively, offensively.
yes,
like, yeah.
actually both. But we got to remember
a better fielder. That's bull.
Yeah,
Pete was younger. Matt was a senior. It's unfair to compare him at the time that I played with them.
Hubby's an ageist.
Pete was nervous trying to throw to me. Everything went in the dirt.
Hubby, was Dennis and Noll, were you guys all the same grade?
No, Dennis and I were 87. They 88.
And Noll, you're 88. Hubs.
Hey,
yes.
can we pause this? I think I'm going to move this into the house to get a better connection.
So you do that. We won't draft. We're going to shoot the shit and then just log back on. I'll let you back in. How's that?
we
I'm
can,
going to log in.
we can edit it.
Get closer to
Yeah, just carry it.
but I don't need to log in. I'm just going to carry it closer to the Wi-Fi.
Do what you got to do. We're going to keep it rolling. There he goes. Hubby. Hubs, I got a question about Dennis. So that last game you all played, senior year, where were you? Who were you guys playing?
I mean, honestly, I tell you, I don't remember.
Home.
Game?
I know the story.
Was that Fermi?
What?
It's a great fucking story. He struck out looking, and when the guy went to throw to third, Dennis smashed him in the hand with the bat.
Yes. It's true?
It is true. I could have told the story. I just don't remember.
That's what
I'm
happened.
pretty sure we were at home, and I didn't remember who we were playing.
Looking, the guy went to throw the ball to third.
Just take it.
We're at maybe I don't know.
He took a miss.
He fucking hit the dude right in the hand with the bat. As the cat tried to throw to third.
Brummage was pissed.
Fucking tremendous, dude. There's no way I made.
This is so great. What the hell is Noll doing?
Project.
So, Hubs, or Noll, did he get booted? Like, what did they do? What did the umpire?
It was the end of the game.
Oh, that was the last out.
Yeah, that wasn't the last out, but it was like the last inning and was
okay.
the first or second out. And I don't think anything other than Brummage yelling at him.
Because I remember Dennis told me it was just like this like this instinct that he had, and then he immediately knew it was wrong. Like he felt bad, you know. So maybe he showed that remorse, and they didn't give him shit for it. These days he'd be tossed, and they never let him play again.
I don't think anybody knew what the fuck he was doing, dude. It wasn't premeditated. It's just Dennis. It was Dennis being Dennis, dude. It doesn't work out there. Back.
Do you want me to change your background?
No, I don't want you to change the background.
Why doesn't it work?
Look, I'm in the other office, dude. All my sports pictures and hats and shit there.
Set up.
That was classic.
So, yeah, Dennis hit the dude right in the hand.
Yep.
Strike three, go to throw to third. Dennis fucking rifles him in the hand with the bat. Wasn't premeditated because Dennis couldn't premeditate a parking ticket.
Well, and I think that's great commentary because he is just the salt of the earth kind of guy. He's doesn't have an evil bone in his body.
Ah, okay.
It's classic. To me, that's one of the most classic stories that we have in the whole organization. I love when you guys talk about that.
If you asked him after it happened, he wouldn't even have known it happened.
Yeah.
It was just like, you're not going to show me up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to show me up.
Kid's ready to fire it down to third, and he just gets slammed.
Catcher's probably like, what the fuck, dude?
All right, we got to keep this rolling here. So we got Dennis. You got Merg for short. All right, we're going back to Noll now. Noll's got his third and fourth round picks.
Wow, it gets very thin, dude.
We only pick four guys.
Dude. We have covered all the Division I players yet. I'm going to go with Al Tracy, and I'm going to put him in the outfield. Please don't make me pick center, right, and left. I'm just going with Al Tracy.
I'm okay with that.
And who's like the third best pitcher of the 80s, man? Yeah, there's a case that can be made for me. I'll go with Joey Preet.
Okay. Where did Joe Preet play on the field? It was pitcher?
Pitcher, yeah.
Okay.
He was another fucking psychopath, too, back then.
Was he a football? He was a football player, right, Preet?
That was Stephen Preet. Joe, the brother.
Yep. Okay. And do we have a story about one of them where they assaulted somebody?
Yeah. I have no stories that are NC-17 about Stephen. As far as goes, like he was older than me. He's 85. He was a good player, good-looking kid. Yeah. They were boxers. Like Stephen Preet was a boxer, good egg. He's found religion. Other than that, I don't know much about him.
Great job. All right. You know, if those Fermi idiots did a draft like this, there'd be a story about each and every one of them stabbing and Jesus. That's a dark place, I gotta say. All right.
You go dark. I had to give you real stories, dude. I'm giving you the tamest Dennis story ever. I wanted to be a cop, dude. You're gonna right? Like
all right. That's good, solid start right there. Noll's he's strong up the middle. He's got himself a pitcher now. All right, Hubby, we're going over to you now. I think
I'm going to take...
Correct. Yep.
I'm going to take Gigalone as my catcher.
Okay. All right, and I think you get another pick here, right?
And I'm gonna take Joe Tracy,
Okay.
What position?
outfield. He's my center fielder.
So those Tracy brothers, were they like a junior, senior? What was their spread in years?
Sophomore, senior.
Sophomore, senior. Did they both play varsity at the same time? Did that kid play varsity as a sophomore?
JV as a sophomore, but I'll tell you, there's not probably a better athlete in Enfield at an early age than Joe.
Yep.
Than Joe Tracy was. Like young kid, fast basketball player, 20-point a game basketball player in like CCD and all that stuff. Yep. A great young athlete.
Yep.
Had some knee problems later on, but a great young athlete.
No. All right. Okay.
15
Let's keep
he's
moving.
the best player in town.
Wow.
I mean, on an 8-2, here's a good story, Dubes. On an 8-2 football team with Morton and Sims and Folo, Joe Tracy was a cornerback as a sophomore.
Wow.
So that says something right there.
8-2 that year?
We're 8-2. It was the Morton, Folo, Sims, Pat Gill, that almost state championship team.
Wow.
In 86. And Joe Tracy was a starting corner on that team.
Yep.
Hey, I just talked to Gil like 2 days ago. He was a baseball player. Did he play with you guys?
We played with him when we were kids. He was 10. I played football with him, sure.
No, I remember him as a football player. I didn't know he was a baseball player, and he told me he played for Brummage.
I don't think he played in high school. He played in Little League.
I know that he was on the team, but I don't think he was like his senior year. I don't remember him there.
But when we got brought up to like Holy Family or whatever that team was when we were 10, he was the 12-year-old guy.
Yeah.
He was the 12-year-old guy. Feathered hair. He looked like Sean Cassidy did.
You have to check the yearbook.
Because he was smart. He was confident. You know what I mean? And that's all you need to be in high school. He's like who's the point guard at Duke? He's like a Bobby Hurley quarterback.
Yep.
Never going to go anywhere else, but in high school is fantastic.
Yep. Understood.
Anytime you want to be.
Got it. Okay. Noll, you got 2 picks.
I'm on the clock, dude. I'm going to take Jeff Mayer.
Yep.
And I can put him at third, right?
Yep.
I don't see why not.
And I'll take
First Mayor off the board there.
I'll take Brian Folo.
Okay.
And I'm going to play him at fullback. Now I'll put Folo in the outfield.
Okay, you got another outfielder. So Jeff Mayer, did either one of you guys play with him? He's a little before you guys, right? 80.
I think he was 81 or 80.
Okay, yeah, earlier 80s. Yeah, it might have been 81. I think you're right with that, Hobbs. And Mike was 80 just before him, right? Those Mayers, the early 80s.
Yeah.
And what about Rick? 83? Something like that? Because Al was around your era, you guys, right? Or Al's 89?
Al's 89.
Yep.
Rick's like 84, and Rick was a hell of a 15-year-old baseball player. His father coached Triano. Those guys were state champions. They went far with Rick Mayer and Mike Arena and the hockey player and
yep.
And who's the guy that's reached out to you, Riley? Mike Burrill?
Yeah. Yep.
He was on that team. They were like one game away from World Series.
Wow.
When they were 15.
I'm not surprised. They had some good athletes. All right, those are good picks right there. So the first Mayor is selected as Jeff. Yes, Brian.
Can I just kind of pause for a second because I want to get your opinions, Noll and Hubby. And he told me not to do this, but I'm going to. Tomorrow, apparently, Enfield Little League is going to play for a state title. How do you feel about that, Hub?
Apparently,
The junior league all-star tournament this year is not a junior league all-star tournament. That's all I'll say.
Fair enough.
I think the state championship, it's the two teams that had a team. The most they had for the tournament was 4.
Well, I'm still rooting for him, but I wanted to push your buttons a little bit.
I'm not going to let you do it.
I mean, is it just that
they certainly didn't have to go through 8 teams to win the district.
Noel, do you have someone serving you beers? Because you just keep cracking beers, and I can't get one.
that a boy?
camper. I brought a bag in from the camper.
He's got a bag in there.
In my house. I don't want to get up because hubby called me fat last time I got up, so I'm gonna stay like shoulder up.
Sorry, I can see it in your face too.
These episodes should have no body shaming. Jesus Lord.
I was just gonna say, if there's one chubby dude on this episode, it's Brian Riley.
I was gonna say, it's me calling out Riley for being big. I mean, seriously.
Hey, we're wearing glasses. We get a better, sharper view, right, Hubs?
You're getting your revenge. I love it. Well, let's get back to the draft, and we're going to toss it over to Hubs. You've got 2 picks here, your 6th and 7th picks, I guess, if my math is correct.
Then I'm gonna take Mike Mayer as a pitcher.
Yep.
Over.
I want to see if you're gonna pick yourself.
He's only disgusted because he wanted him. Come on.
I can only have one mare, dude.
One's enough, according to Robbie. Okay. And then Hobbs, your 2nd pick here in this round.
And I'm gonna take Boynton as my 3rd baseman.
Got it. Okay, 3rd base.
Do we get funding? You're going to need a psychiatrist to come.
Great stuff. All
What-
right.
Hubby, when he drives home from a game and throws all his equipment out the window. Let's tell a Boynton story. I got a dozen, dude. We play in a game, and we play in a Legion game, and he has a couple of. There's no denying it. He's a good athlete. But he plays so bad, he throws all his gear out the fucking windows driving home. His glove, his shoes, his shirt out the window. And then you know what's a crazier story, too? You don't have to post this. So when I'm
We're posting it.
I'm a junior, Dubes, right?
Yes.
Pitching against East Hartford. And Boynton's ineligible. He failed physics. So Tim Kaine, who played like 15 years in the minor leagues, great fucking player. Yep. He was 3rd for East Hartford. But Boynton's mad because the year before, Kaine won all-league 3rd baseman. And Boynton's like, the fucking guy's 8-0 as a pitcher. Why didn't I win all-league? Because he was great. So I strike Kaine out. I strike him out looking, dude. He's got a wooden bat. Kane's a fucking hero, dude, of proportion. Wooden bat, I strike him out. And Boynton goes bananas in the stands. I mean bananas. Like I just struck out fucking Ted Williams. And Tim Kaine looks up in the stands like, what'd I ever do to that dude? You know what I mean? Like, what's that guy's problem with me? Isn't that funny?
It's absolutely gold.
It's hysterical. Like, I strike him out. He boom. Fastball on the outside corner, Brian Jakes. And Boynton's going, sit the fuck down, Kane, you crazy. Oh,
and this is an Enfield High game, or this is Legion?
High game when I'm a junior.
And so he's hitting with a wood bat in an aluminum bat league.
Yes.
He was, you know,
the lights.
A draft prospect or whatever.
Yes.
He's a dick.
UConn. He was a really good player at UConn.
Yeah.
When Boynton went bananas, dude. Bananas. And the guy looks over like, holy shit, dude. Like, what the fuck?
Hey, Robbie, who was he a better baseball player or football player, Boynton?
Here's the thing about Boynton. He's one of those kids who, when he came up, he was super fast. He was super smart. He was super athletic. And then the times got the better of him, kind of, so to speak, and he couldn't, like, he was really good in football, but I don't know. It's hard to say. One great year of baseball in high school, and then he lost his fucking mind. And I don't think he ever found it.
No, because so now my story about Boynton, again, not baseball related, but about 15 years ago, my sister calls me and says, hey, I got this kid, Brian Boynton, coming in for an interview. I'm going to interview him, and I think he went to school with you. So I said, well, you want to do something that's going to be really funny? I said, when he comes in and just say, oh, I can't believe I'm actually getting to meet you. This is so great. Mr. Kane, can I ask you like what it was like to and he looks at her, he goes, who are you? And she tells him her name, and he goes, I fucking hate that guy.
Everybody that has seen him in the last 20 years, he'll say, tell Noll. And I was his best friend. He lived in my parents' basement, dude. He is like, he's Flick Webb kind of. If you under Brian Riley, you can Google who Flick Webb is. But
if you had chat, you had to know who Flick Webb is.
Right. Well, again, but the point being is, it was just the most hysterical thing I've ever seen when fucking Tim Kaine went bananas. Boynton used to sing the song, You Give Love a Bad Name, and say, you give baseball a bad name. Like, he would sing that. He was so obsessed, dude. You think Tim Kaine knew who the fuck Boynton was? Not a chance.
Was it? Hey, and in football, was it Bobby Douglas that beat him from South Windsor? That's why you guys didn't advance?
Bobby Douglas was a young black baseball player, but no, it was Kevin Sockeld, who played tight end. See, I'm a historian, dude. Like, Sockeld, who played tight end at Southern with Hurlburt. I hung out with him at Southern, and he got beat a couple times deep. Boynton. But the thing with Boynton is, when he was a senior at Fermi, he got face mask, went bananas, ripped his helmet off, got a 15-yard penalty, then got a 15-yard penalty between leaving the field and the bench, and then Tyler Timian kicked the field goal, and we lost 3-0.
Holy shit. Wow.
We're talking about a kid who got like 4 O's, and then was to Northeastern and didn't get housing and had to live with his parents.
Yep.
Who his mother once asked me this. I was sitting at her kitchen table. She said, hey, Rob, have you ever called your mother a cunt? That's what Boynton's mother said to me at her kitchen table. And I'm like, not recently, but I will take it under advice. Like, I had nothing to say.
All right. This is absolute gold. I hope Boynton isn't going to tune in and hear any of this.
Hey, Robbie, shout out to you for wearing the lid. Hubby, what the fuck's the red W?
It is edited. He said it's edited.
We're not editing anything.
Ever.
Yeah.
No, it's great stuff, man. Absolutely gold. All right. We got to get some more picks going. Noll, it is to you. You've got 2 in a row, brother.
What's he need?
I got needs.
Yeah, go ahead, Rob.
Utility and a DH as well.
No.
Whatever the captain says. So if Riley says no, we'll
If
keep
you
it.
agree, we can extend the program. If you want to do a DH, go ahead. You're not going to need a D. Yeah, you're going to need a DH. Who's your number 1 pitcher, Hub?
Fans.
And then who's Noll?
Joe Preet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to take, he never played varsity, but I think if he would have played it, we have that rule, you're going to play varsity?
No, I don't care. You can pick.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
I would take Joe Hurlburt at catcher over Pete Sawinski all day. So I'm taking Hurlburt.
All right. At catcher.
I went against my rule because he already has a catcher, dude. Who's the best first baseman? Wow, the first basemen are they're terrible. The whole 80s never saw a good first baseman. I mean, you got Ritter, dude. Ugh. Who was it? Her first baseman in '82. Paul Dombeck? Was Paul Dominic the first baseman in '82?
I have no idea.
There's got to be somebody. Draft yourself.
I'll draft myself if you let me.
I was wondering if Hubs would draft Noll for his staff.
He was going to be my next pick, but screw him now.
You know what I'll take? I'm going to put John Grace in the outfield.
Okay.
That's a good pick.
Yep.
Hit a lick, dude.
Big arm though, right? Could really throw. That's what everybody always says about Grace. Good athlete, good big arm.
Grace was a great athlete.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He was. He played 3 sports.
Yeah.
So am I.
Well, you weren't a great athlete.
I went 2-0, wrestled the blind kid. That's a good story.
Did you really wrestle? No.
2-0, undefeated. Rocky.
Why only 2 matches?
Because Dan Tyler was the heavyweight. And he was,
all right.
and
So
Sean
you should have got some JV ghost match shit going on. What the hell happened there?
wrestled the blind kid. It's not even a lie. I wrestled the blind kid.
You don't really need to see to wrestle though. You just grab the dude's crotch and try to suplex him and shit. I mean,
What Kirk Parker, Hall of Famer Kirk Parker, said. This guy's gonna have strong hands, Noll, when he's gonna shoot for you. So as soon as the whistle blew, I pulled my hands away, shot at my legs, I pounced on him, half down. And the coach goes, "Don't hurt him." And I'm like, "Fuck, he's in here on his own, dude." That's no lie. That's a true story.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, you're a bad wrestler when Kirk Parker goes, "You got a great jump shot. You ever think of playing hoops?"
Dude, that's the first time I've ever heard you tell a story about you wrestling a blind kid.
It's a true. Where do you go? You're either a bully or you lose to a blind kid. Like Noll beat a blind kid.
Do your job.
Lose to him. I did my job. I put him away.
Exactly.
Covered the spread.
Can you imagine if there was betting lines on high school wrestling in the mid-'80s?
That's unfair to put on a 15-year-old kid. You got to wrestle a blind kid.
It is unfair. It's terrible. What an ethical dilemma.
It totally. And then the coach is like, "Don't hurt him," as I'm strapping a half Nelson on him, dude. And you know what? That blind kid's not undefeated, and I am. Go ahead. Next draft.
All right, Hobby, it's your turn.
Hey, where the hell are we? I don't even know anymore.
All right, you're on pick 8 and 9.
First baseman.
I can even tell you what you have and what you need.
I've written it down. I'm good.
All right.
I'm filling out my pitching staff with Noll.
Awesome. That's a great pick. I'm telling you right now.
It spans Noll and who?
Mayor.
And Mike Mayer.
None of us break a plane of glass, dude.
I don't know. You can make a case those are the best 3 pitchers there from that decade, all on Hubby's team. No.
Thank you. Appreciate
it. I'm telling you. I believe that. All right. He's got another pick, too, to go with that. What do you got?
I know, and yeah, I'm going to, because we've played together since we were freaking 10 years old, I'm going to take myself.
I love it.
I love it. Great pick, Hub.
Yep.
Dude.
An idiot.
You called an idiot? Is Lori in the bathroom with you?
No. I'm in my dining room. She's in
Boy.
the living room.
That's the war room.
Kurt, dining.
Belichick. He's got the dog with him.
It's my home office.
That's right. Home office.
That makes sense. The dining room.
Yeah, that's my home office too. All right, great picks right there. He takes Noll and Hubs to keep the dynamic duo together on the same roster. All right, Noll.
I feel like I'm married to him. So basically, I need a first baseman, 2 pitchers, and utility.
I'd say so. Yep.
So
You said You said Ritter was the best, big boy. Go ahead.
Who?
Ritter was the best. You go ahead and take
I
it,
never
big
seen
boy.
balls like Ritter at that golf course, dude, 2 years ago. Everybody had bets that he was going to blow his knee out. Never seen anything like it. First, we all had to pay up, dude. Like we had the most vicious bet ever. You know what? I'm going to take Andy Bankowski
That's a good pick.
Yep.
as a pitcher,
Okay.
and I'm going to take who the fuck must have pitched in '89 Hubs? Like, it must have been Brad and Jamie. Brad and Jamie must have dominated
Yeah.
'89.
Hey, so on your 88 staff, Rob, it was you, Tweedley, Jamie, and my brother, right?
I was to say, why wouldn't you take Jack?
Yeah. Jack's good pick.
About to. I was just about to. Like,
No, I'm not asking you for that. Like, I was asking you, like, you guys had
Yeah.
a great, that was comparable to the 01 staff with Meyer, Medina, and Rob Witten.
I agree.
I could tell you a couple reasons. You're gonna think it's what do you call that? Rotten eggs or bitter eggs or
Sour grapes.
sour grapes. There you go. I think a lot had to do with that Brummage knew that Brad needed to be positioned to be a star. Why, if you have Brad Tweedley and I'm your pitcher, am I starting both games against East Hartford? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why is that happening? Why? Like, I think Brummage honestly just knew, like, he knew that. So even the last day, we're 8-10, and I'll let you chime in and hear your point. So Brummage comes up to me. This is no lie. I would never make anything up. So Brummage comes up to me walking towards the calf, and he says, we played a doubleheader that day against Fermi and NFA. And he says, I'm going to start Brad in game 1 against Fermi because you got to win that game. Well, Fermi was like 2-18.
Sure.
In retrospect, I think that's a mistake. But you got to always win the next game. But when me and him, coach, we threw Eric White against Middletown, and the guy was like, why would you waste your pitcher? And I'm like, well, I got to get to the next game. So
Gotta win.
I got to be consistent. And then he goes, I'm going to pitch Jamie Caminetti, a sophomore, against NFA. Because I know, Noll, you could come in and give me 5 innings in game 1 and 5 innings in game 2. I know if I need a pitcher, you can do that.
Yep.
Brad, we blow him out, and then we drive to Norwich to play a doubleheader the same day, and we're 9-10. And Jamie, God rest his soul, I love him to death. He's a sophomore. He gives up 5 runs in the first. I pitch 5 shutout innings, and we lose 5-4.
Yep. Yep.
I get what his thought process was, because you kind of want to bring these guys along. They're going to be your future, but there was always talk where Brummage wanted to build decks and not build long distance.
Yep.
Hey, Rob, if you don't mind me asking, because when we talked about your pitching staff, like your pitching staff was legit.
Yep.
Was it your offense that kind of hindered your success as a team? Like, what was the issue? Because as far as on paper, I would compare that 88 staff to that 01 team any day of the week.
I do too.
One thing is you play 6 non-conference games against Berlin, Norwich, and Simsbury. Yep. 3 of the best teams in the state. And then you're a small school playing East Hartford, Manchester, Rockville. You know what I mean? It's a very daunting schedule. It is a daunting schedule.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It is. And it's the same with Hubby's junior year. They're 1 game away, and they lost to Mark Wisniewski and Fermi. They were 9-10, and they lost to Wizard, dude.
But that was Spans' year, right?
No, Spans was a junior. It was Joe.
Yeah.
Joe Preet. They said he was stealing sign. It was crazy. That should have been your Joe Preet story. The bottom line, if Brummage, why didn't Brummage schedule Tolland, Summers, and Suffield. Instead, scheduled Berlin, Simsbury, and fucking, what was it, NFA. I mean, that's 6 games. Easily, probably every year we went 1-5.
Yeah. Yeah, he was he was wired that way, and that's it. We did it too during Riley's era, my era, and we got crushed, you know. And I know those 01 guys, they should be just as proud about their run and all the wins they had, but I think if you compare the run to the tournament that they had versus all of our eras, when you played Rob and Steve, and when we played Murderers Row. We couldn't even sniff the tournament. I mean, our ball clubs were, we weren't deep enough, but we played Murderers Row. There was no way we were coming out of that schedule.
I do think too, it was a time in baseball where there were changes there were changes being made how to handle a pitching staff. So when I ran our team, and I would say to Brummage, I'd be in the back room and I'd be like, if Corsati was coaching for me, and I would say, if Corsati did it this way, like they didn't understand the Dennis Eckersley and how to control a bullpen, and Brummage would have you warming up from the fucking 3rd inning on and then put you in with the bases loaded. You know what I mean? There was no real conception of how baseball really is played now. I mean, there was no real conception of that. Is you put a reliever in when the fucking starters, the doors are being blown off, dude. I got to go in with the bases loaded. You know what I mean? Like, instead, you do little, and he didn't want to hear it. And that was always my thing with Brummage. He would say to me, I respect you, Noll. I respect what you do. I respect that you coach these guys, but don't tell me my business.
Got it.
That was after I left the school, not when I played. I couldn't tell him anything when I played. But you get my point, like how the game evolves, right?
Yeah. No, I think that's great shit, man. I think that's absolutely good stuff. All right, Noll, you got another pick. Are you taking Jack? You took Andy Banker there for a pitcher.
I feel bad to the people before 1985, but I just don't know him. Did Todd pitch? Archie was a great Legion pitcher. I don't know. Ben Sawinski, I'll go with Jack right there.
Yep, okay. It's done. Jack Riley, that fills out your staff.
Yeah, I got Preet, Andy, and Jack.
All right, so we're going back to Hubs here. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty here on these rosters.
Yeah, I think this is my last 2.
Okay, could be your last 2. This is 10 and 11.
I'm going with Scott Jennings in the outfield.
Yes.
And Karen Jenny behind the plate.
Okay, Hubs. And
I'm going to take Peter Gigolo to be my second baseman.
Nice.
Business right there, dude.
That's dirty pool right there, hubby.
It's a good little roster, I got to say.
Jiggs, and who is your outfielder?
Jenny. Yeah.
So you have a utility guy and a DH.
Well, he's putting Pete Jiggs at second.
I think he's saying we're going to pick a utility guy and a DH. I think he's saying I got 2 picks left.
I got you.
I got 3. He's got 2.
Yep, you're right. That's exactly right. All right, we'll throw it to you, Nolly.
Dude, hubby, who was that dude that played right field who was a skitter? Dave? Was he there? Dave McKay?
Oh, no. That was Falk that played right.
No. Dave Falk? What are you, nuts?
Yeah.
I know who it wasn't. It wasn't that guy that wants to catch every weekend against Windsor Locks. It wasn't that dude. Banker. Brian Bankowski as my utility.
Yep.
Bastard.
Good player.
You know what I'm going to take? He was a good fucking hitter, and he never played varsity either, and he's got a story too, as we all do. Who was the third baseman with the feathered hair when we played JV?
TJ.
No, God, no. The kid.
Blodgett.
Blodgett. I'm taking Blodgett as my DH. We got to be forgetting people, dude.
All right, so I think you got one more pick, Noll, right?
Dennis, no,
At the end.
the next pick, and then Hubs has got 2 more, and then I have 1.
Got it. Okay. So number 12 and number 13 for Hubs.
All right, my utility guy, I'm going to take Al Mayer.
Yep.
Still has a cannon.
Yep. Where did he play primarily, guys?
He was the third baseman when I was a senior.
Got it.
I know he played first base too, I think.
Yep. All right.
Tell the mayor story that'll be unedited.
Of course.
Yeah, go ahead.
Unedited. Nothing's edited.
I wouldn't have the first clue how. I'm sending it to Riles.
Robbie, I'm just fucking with you. We don't know how to edit shit on this thing.
So we're in the fucking dome, dude. 80s versus 90s.
Yep.
And I swear to God, we drove there in a hurricane.
It was awful.
Horrible.
In hurricane, dude. There, and as people start coming in, I'm just ticking off a lineup. The night before, the funny thing the night before is Knowles was like, I'm blah, 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 I'm better than this guy. And I'm like, you're batting fucking leadoff, motherfucker, dude. I put him right in. Like, you want the pressure? I'm batting you leadoff. And I did. So then as people came in, I start penciling them in. Now John Gray shows up. 6 mayors from Sunday show up. Dude, I'm fucking putting these people in. Who are we going to talk about? I just totally forgot who I was talking about.
There.
Al. So when Mike Mayer so tore up that I started Andy Bankowski. I mean, tore up, dude. And I'm like, listen, let the guy pitch. I Brummage thing. I know I could get 5 innings out of you, apparently just 4. But I said, I can get 5 innings out of you. Let me just Andy Bankowski to throw to Harold Lally, relive a junior. It's fine. So we put him out there, and when Mike Mayer's struggling, I go over to Al. I'm like, dude, can you fucking close this thing? You're fucking got a live arm, dude. You're sitting in the fucking stands. Can you close this thing? I got Dennis yelling at me. I got Big Hubby yelling at me. I got guys running around the bases. It's hot. It's sweaty. And Al Mayer begged the fuck out. Ain't doing it. Won't do it. Won't. And he used the embarrass my brother routine, but it was just, I ain't doing it. I got a hot wife. Ain't getting hurt, dude. I'm not fucking doing it. And I was disgusted. I was so mad that he wouldn't do it. And then they're like, pull him as a catcher and this, that. And then we go out to eat, Brian. We go to the Elks Club. And I said to Turk, because me and Turk and I are kind of like oil and water. So I buy Turk a beer and I go in the back of that golf course or wherever it was in Summers. And I got 5 mayors going, how do you ever bat Sean Ritter ahead of Jeff Mayer? And I'm like, I don't know. He fucking got here before you, dude. I'm the best I can, dude. That's my whole Mayers.
Hey Rob, like I love the story when you tell it. When Tom Alonis was up during that game, you kind of knew he was just gonna crush the shit out of that ball.
I knew he was not going to strike out. I knew he was going to fucking my catcher couldn't catch. And I blame myself for being out of shape. Like, why couldn't I go out there and close the fucking door? I could have went out there and thrown strikes. I could have done it. Like, I think about that a lot too. And I have the like Mike Mayer, I know Dube, you supported it, but that stupid first and third thing when we're coming back, and he's like, and even Goucher stepped off like, I'm not going to throw over. Please just go back to first. This is fucking high school. Like, I'm not going to do it. And Mike Mayer made himself get picked off, which annoyed the flying F off of me. But I will tell you this, and you could ask Hubby, I said this. If they throw Goucher, we will own his ass because he will be soft and scared and nervous. I said, if they throw Witten, he's going to give us trouble. Did I not say that? You can ask anybody.
You did say that.
Goucher, and we own them. They throw Witten, we have problems.
Well,
It's Jay, but Jay is the kind of a woo, little nervous cat, dude.
this has turned into After the Rose here, the fucking Bachelor. It's wonderful. I appreciate the honesty.
All right, so how many more picks do we got?
Well, we've got one more for Hobbs and one more for Noll.
All right, 1-1.
So Hobbs, you're on the board here. You're on the clock, and then right over to Noll.
My DH, I'm going to pick Ritter.
Okay, Sean Ritter. Absolutely.
Hey, dude, he'll be so happy. Riddle'll be so happy. He might put it on his resume. I was a top 20 player in the 80s, dude.
He was so pissed when Stats quit and Brummage called me up to play first over him.
You want a good Ritter story? I got one of those. Guy goes to fucking UConn, stud high school player. And the UConn coach in the JI says, if only Sean Ritter had more heart, he'd be able to contribute to our team. If that's not an indictment, I don't know what is.
Wow.
Post that fucking thing. I'm going to take Rob Noll at first base. He gives you a fucking protection in the 5-hole, and he can relief pitch.
But Rob Noll was drafted. He was already drafted. Hubby got you.
You're right.
I stole
Trying to
you
steal
from
yourself. Hell no.
There's got to be a first baseman in the early 80s, dude. Mike Arena's the only left-handed kid I know before 1985. I'm going Mike Arena.
Mike Arena.
He's
All right.
like you, Dube. He could play outfield, a jacked up kid, first baseman, dominant young player, dude. Played in those teams with the hockey player, and a dominant young player.
The hockey player was pretty good. Did you guys
Rusty. It was Rusty Stone, right?
Oh, Rusty Stone. Well, those hockey players are good too, but I'm talking about Janny.
Yeah, they all played with Janny and won the state championship.
Yeah.
Al Bear's father was the coach.
But Janny was good baseball player also.
Real good. That's what he had. Real good.
Yeah. All right. I think that's the roster. That's it, man. I think we've got
You want to work
teams.
Should we work on the lineups, dude?
Yeah, well, I mean, certainly you could.
No, Riley's like, no, he ain't working on any lineups.
Listen, this is great. Where did hubby go?
He bailed. His wife dragged him out of the shower.
No, did we? We didn't lose him.
Do you still see him?
No.
I've only been able to see whoever's talking.
I see all 4 of you, and hubby fell off.
3 of you now. I don't see hubby. Maybe you should get out of your camper, dudes.
Okay, so we're gonna end it, dude. We were talking about like how we're gonna end it. Like we gotta make it fun, right? Like, where is hubby?
Hubby. That's why we got rid of Hubs, dude.
Where is hubby? He fell off.
The new HDMI cable. I don't know what happened.
Ah!
I wanted to ask him the story about the kid who quit, and then he took the spot. What the hell happened there? I wanted to hear how he quit or why.
What kid who quit?
Well, hubby was saying that he got called up to take the first base job over Ritter because some dude in front of him quit.
No, the only first baseman back then were like Ritter and Stetz.
Yeah, he said the name. It might have been Stats.
Hey, so while we're closing this out, because hubby left, we got the draft done.
All right.
So me and Dube, we were gonna ask you like just a random question, and we didn't know really what we were gonna ask. So we're gonna give you the opportunity to answer this question. Who was your biggest rival in high school? Like sport-wise, baseball. Who was it? What team?
Biggest rival?
Yeah, like who did you like? Who?
It's Fermi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fermi.
So you got to pick 5 guys, including you. So it's you and 4 guys. You go into a drinking contest or a barroom brawl. What do you want to pick?
Question, is it now or back then? Like Five Guys now?
In their primes back then, whenever you want.
If it's now, we're fucked. You got to go in the prime.
I fight 5 Fermi dudes?
You gotta fight 5 of Fermi's best or drink against Fermi's best. Who are you going with?
You know,
You're going against Fermi, you better bring a knife.
no. You know, I take like
Wait, but what is it? Is it drinking or fighting?
Alston. I take like 5 broads, dude, to fight Fermi back then. No,
Right.
if it was a drinking thing, like in high school.
Yeah, you're all drinking buddies from baseball. Who was it?
Your brother. Was that a negative? Like,
No, I would take him too. Number 1 pick.
Right.
You, McHugh, I would take.
which McHugh? No, stop. You just lived in their neighborhood, and McHugh didn't play baseball. He just went to the baseball event. If I had to throw down, he's not a drinker, but he's a fighter. It's who wouldn't take Steve Preet, but he's not a drinker at all. Geez, this is tough, dude. Spans and Dombick are the world champion drinkers of all fucking fight their way out of a wet paper bag. Same with Dennis is a tough as hell.
I'll be
Can't,
back.
but can't drink.
Now he's sideways. Look at this guy.
He is sideways.
We're just glad we got him back, man.
My phone died.
Your phone died. I knew it. Hey,
I would go with your brother. I would go with I go with Dennis, I guess. I don't know. He's not a good drinker, dude. You said drinker and
whatever you want. You're going into a bar and you know you're gonna get into some shit.
I want Preet.
Do you want Steve?
Nozzle unequivocally. I want Nozzle unequivocally. Stinks at I can't say that. Unequivocally, I want Nozzle going in with me. I want your brother. And who's the other person I took? Dennis.
And Preet.
Steve Preet.
Do you take Steve Hurlburt with you?
No, he wouldn't.
Need somebody to drive us home. And I go with, you know who I go with? Crow.
Crosati.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
love
great
it.
pick.
I go with Crow.
Crosati.
Crosati be all into, let's go, no, let's go.
Set the jack.
Yes.
So, you got anything else, dude?
No, that's awesome. I laughed harder tonight than I have in a long time, man. My God, both of you and Riles too.
That was better than I was expecting. Robbie and Steve, thanks. Like the blind kid wrestling was. I
Oh
threw
my
up in my
God.
mouth a little bit, man, and I had to.
Story
Like,
was worth it right there.
yeah, it was worth it.
You
So
can't even write that. You can't make that up.
Here's the thing with you guys.
Go ahead.
We're all sequestered. We all are going through stuff. We all have kids. We all have, we're doing the best we can.
Yep.
No matter whether it's Boynton or anybody on this table, we love them all, dude. We love them all.
absolutely.
You know what I mean? We love them all.
Yep.
Not everybody can be drafted first, but we love them all.
Well said.
Hey, so listen. So next week, I think it's the 4th, right, Mark?
Yes.
So next week we're gonna do a really cool Brews with Dubes. We're back. It's gonna be with Brummage, Dube, and myself, and we're gonna announce the first 5 for Cooperstown. And Cooperstown's gonna be pretty cool. The deposit's paid. Everything's kind of set, man. Everything's in motion. So this next year for Brummage selecting his guys is gonna be pretty cool. But even if anyone doesn't get selected, like, I want them in Cooperstown. I want them to experience everything that we're going to experience. Bring your families, your friends. And the guys that don't get selected, I hope you guys all come out because this is going to be a really, really cool weekend. And I hope everyone goes. But next Sunday, what time did we say? Like 5?
Yeah, it's fine. That would work.
Sunday at 5, we're gonna do the same format. We're gonna have Dube, Brummage, me, and then the 5 guys he selects on a Zoom call, and we're gonna shoot the shit like we did tonight. It's probably not gonna be as good or as funny, but
No.
this is gonna be the last ride, and I'm looking forward to it. Cooperstown's gonna be pretty cool.
No question, I'll be there.
That's
Cool.
awesome, Noll.
Yeah.
That's great.
Hubby, you too, man.
Yeah, for sure. Jesus, it's awesome. It was great to talk. And I appreciate you guys coming on. And Riles, it was great being with you, man. I think we got to make this a regular.
Yeah, for sure.
A spinoff for sure.
Right? I need my own show, to be honest with you.
No. I think we need to have Noll involved.
I think we need to do a co-host with you and Noll.
I think the 4 of us, and we get guests to come on with us. That's it.
I agree.
Brothers.
This was too good. Too good.
Great.
All right, gentlemen, I'm going to sign it off. Awesome job. Great stuff.
See you guys. See you, Hub. See you, Dube. See you, Nolly.
Take care.